Welcome to Simplify Stacey, and thank you for joining me. Before we begin our weekly template series, let me quickly introduce myself. I have been trading Forex for the first 8 years. During my first 3 years, I spent countless hours switching from one strategy to another strategy. I studied and tested ICT, Wyckoff, market maker concept, what you call beat the market maker concept, also many other trading methodology, but I never found the consistency I was looking for. But everything changed 5 years ago when I discovered Stacey Burke trading approach. Since then, I have focused on understanding and applying his concept in my structure and disciplined way. Stacey's strategy covers so many difficult topics for many traders. They can be difficult to understand at first. Over the past 5 years, I have spent a lot of time studying and implementing these topics in the live market. And in this channel, I will share everything I have learned in the simplest way possible based on my own experience and understanding. So you can learn and apply this concept with confidence. And you can also make lots of pips by using those concepts. So right now, let's get started with our weekly template, our topic. So our topic is the weekly template. As you already know, on the Stacey Burke trading strategy, there are so many concepts like day count, weekly template, daily template, initial balance, yesterday high, yesterday low, weekly high, weekly low, 12 candle window. Sometimes he used the first green day, first red day, breakout failed, inside day session, equity hour, 10 a.m. club, and 3 levels. Those kind of things also he used. So I am going to simplify those things in this channel to make you better understanding about this strategy. So this is just to simplify the Stacey strategy, and I will also provide you some of the document like PDF to better understanding of this concept, so that you can also make some note of from this strategy. So first of all, let's start with the weekly template. So in this channel, before we start in this channel, there will be someone who may new in this channel, or someone who already know the Stacey Burke strategy, but I will explain from basic to advanced in this strategy, so you can easily, so if you are new in this channel, you can also understand the strategy. So first of all, let's start with the weekly template. Before we start weekly template, let me tell you another thing, which is this is one of our PDF about the weekly template, how I use the weekly template. You can also learn from this PDF also by using the video, and also you can use the using your PDF. So here the PDF I also demonstrated what is weekly template and what we need to identify weekly template. Also some chart example I put in the PDF. Here also the types of everything I put about the weekly template I put in this PDF. So if you want this PDF, you can just knock me on Telegram. You can put a comment on this videos and then go on Telegram community and message me, so that I can also provide you in this weekly template. This is the Telegram handle @simplify_Stacey. You can message me here so that I can provide you the PDF to study more. And also here you can see the link also. So right now let me go and explain the weekly template hands-on, and I will show you some example on the chart also. Before we go on the example, let me introduce about the weekly template. So what does the weekly template do actually? The weekly template, if you know the Stacey Burke strategy, he always mentioned about the bigger picture of the market. So weekly template is the way to find out the bigger template of the market, bigger picture of the market, to find out the bigger picture of the market. So we will discuss about it. So The weekly template represent the market movement from Monday to Friday. How? From Monday open to Friday close, how price will be moved. This will be shows on the weekly template clearly. You can identify the higher time frame or the bigger time frame, bigger picture of the market by using this weekly template. On the weekly template there is one of reference level. These levels we called the closing price. First of all, you need to know about the CP or closing price. What is the closing price? Closing price is the close of the Friday previous weeks. Let's say for example previous week's Friday was a market move like this, then close on this area. This is the close of the previous weeks. So this close line, this close will be Friday close will be act as a closing price of upcoming weeks. This horizontal line will be act as a closing price for upcoming weeks. How the trade will be done over the weeks from Monday to Friday. So how can we draw our CP closing price? We just put a line from where the market was closed on Friday. This is the Friday close. Let's say for example Friday market was closed on that area. Say Friday market was closed on that area. Friday market was closed on that area. So from this line we draw a line. This line will be called our CP or closing price. So simply closing price means previous week's Friday closing price. That would be our CP or closing price. This closing price act as a magnet. So over the weeks it will be worked as a magnet. So once you understand the closing price, the next things you need to understand the weekly template, how it looks like. There are only three types of weekly template. We have. First of all, I just show you for the up cycle, bullish for the bullish, and for the bearish another three weekly template we have. So first variation of the weekly template is, let's say for example this is our CP or closing price. Then the first variation is market goes something like that, goes up, and end of the week try to come back to this closing price area, this magnet area. This is our one version or variation of weekly template. This is over the, let's say for example this is Monday trading. This is 5 days of trading. Over the next 5 days, that's how market is movement on our H1 time frame on a weekly basis. This is one variation. The second variation is this is actually move away from the closing price, then end of the week it come back to the magnet area. Another variation we have, which is, let's say for example we have a closing price and price moving something like that, then middle of the week it come back and retest. After retest it continues with the trend end of the weeks, continuation with the trend. This is our second variation. So it's move away, then come back, retest, and go upward again, or trend go continuation of the trend. This is another variation of our weekly template. The next variation is very complicated, and it's actually ranging what market happen every time. Let's say for example over the next 2 or 3 days it's something like that, consolidating on the closing price 2 days, then last 2 days or on a Friday it moves in one direction. That is our third variation of weekly template. So this is what I show you for the bullish example. For bearish example we have same, vice versa for the bullish one. So first of all we have something like that, we go away from the closing price, then end of the week is try to come back to this magnet area. This is our next 5 days. This one. Second variation is go move away, middle of the week it come back, and end of the week it's again continue, goes to the downward. This is the second variation of weekly template. The next one is it's again consolidating something like that, and then as it's bearish it's move away from downward. This is our third variation of our weekly template. So on the weekly template you have the bigger idea about how the market will be moved over the next 5 days. Only these three variation will be happen in the market over the next 5 days. So this weekly template helps you to identify the bigger picture of the market by using the CP or closing price. What I shows you right now in this variation, everything is in the PDF. Here I also shows with example, so you can message me on Telegram so that I can share you the PDF too. Right now I hope you understand the variation of the weekly template. Right now let me go on chart example so that you can understand. So before we go on the chart example, this weekly template forms in every pair, like on indices also, gold, US30, Nasdaq, and also on the forex pair like GBP USD, Euro USD. Every market this template, weekly template, working. So right now let me go on chart and show you some of the example of weekly template on the chart. So here you can see this is our one of the market variation. So here our market Friday was closed. This is our previous Friday was closed. This is our previous Friday was closed. So we simply draw a line on this area. So this is our closing price. So this is the variation. What variation you can see? This is the variation you can see. It's closing price, consolidating, go away from the closing price, and end of the weeks it's try to come back to the magnet area. This is our first variation of weekly template. This template you can see over and over again in the market. Now let's go for the second variation. Let me go on chart and see what variation you can see. This is our another variation of the, this is our previous week's closing price, and draw a line from this closing price area. And what variation you can see, it's go away from our chart. Prices move away from the chart and try to come back and try to retest the closing price before move away from that area. So this is the second variation. This variation on gold is actually not clear. You can identify this one is a move away, then retest, come to retest back, and move away again, or continue the trend with the downward. So this variation is more clear on the Nasdaq. Let me go on Nasdaq. Here you can see this variation. This is our previous week's closing price, and if I draw a line from this area, you can see this is exactly what the second variation of our weekly template is. The same variation the weekly template have it. Market open, goes down, try to come back and retest the closing price, then again drop to the or continue to the downward. This is our second variation of the weekly template. Now let me see more example about our template. Here you can see this is also our another template. This is the previous week's closing price. Let's try to come back and retest and continue to downward. This is try to retest and come back. This is where I try to retest the closing price and continue with the downward, and end of the day also try to come back to the CP area. This is one of our third variation. Maybe it's on our second variation, because there is no consolidation. This is our second variation, first variation of the downside. This is the weekly template. It goes downward and move back to the closing price and continues with the upside. This is our variation 1. Let me go move forward and show you more example. This is our one of example. This is goes away from the closing price, and end of the week is try to come back to the closing price where the market was closed, or previous weeks. This is try to come back. If I draw something like that, it's consolidating, goes down, and end of the week try to come back to the CP area. This is one of our weekly template also. And here you can see one of our variation, which is consolidating over the 2 days. This is consolidating over the 2 days, but the maybe it's market open on that area, closing on that area, sorry, consolidating on the top, then try to come back to the CP area, consolidating, and end of the week try to come back to the CP area. This is our one of variation. Let me find out more variation. I want to show you another example. This is our another example. This is why the market previous Friday was closed, and retest to the CP area, then market goes downward. This is another variation of this is the where market was closed and market open on the gap up and goes downward, and again end of the week it's try to come back on the closing price area after fall, try to come back to closing price area. This is the whole market consolidation. This is our another variation. This is the third variation what I was looking for. This is the where market was closed on the previous weeks, and what variation you can see. This is the third variation. Market was maybe on the downward, or try to make a downward movement to the downside. So here you can see previous weeks where the previous weeks was closed is the CP, and it was consolidated over the next 3 days, then it moves in one direction. This is our third variation of weekly template, what you can see on my chart. So as you can see already, I show you some of example on the gold. You can see the same setup on US 30 is consolidating, then move one away from this area. This is also consolidating, then move goes downward. This is another variation. CP area goes up, goes down, and end of the week is try to come back to the CP area. This is consolidating, then move up. This is also another variation. It's try to come back on the closing CP area. This is what it's try to come back on the CP area. It goes up, then end of the week it's try to come back to the CP area. This is our another example. This is where the market was closed maybe on the previous weeks, then goes downward. I will show you how you can more simplify by using the daily template also. I will show you on the next video maybe about the daily template, how it looks like to catch the daily movement. This is the bigger time frame, what you need to know. And this is the whole day consolidating. This is one of example. Retest and continue. Let me go on Nasdaq. Here you can see on the Nasdaq, this is the area where price tries to come back on the CP area. CP market move away from the CP area. End of the weeks try to come back to the CPU area, which is the magnet area. This is our another variation of the weeks. This is where the market was closed maybe. It's retest on that area, then move up, continue, and after continue to the higher 2 days or 3 days, then it's try to come back to the closing area. This is a continuation trade setup. This is the CP, retest and continue to the upward. How can you utilize this weekly template? I will show you over the next 5 to 6 videos. Everything I will show you in this channel. And this is the third variation, consolidating over the 3 days or 3 to 4 days. Consolidating over the next 3 to 4 days, then move in one direction. This is our third variation of the weekly template. So first try to catch up the weekly template, how it actually looks like. It will be helps you in your trading style, and it will change your trading style also, or it will show you the new view of the chart in your eyes. Now let's jump into some currency pairs so that you can understand more. This is what you can see. It's weekly, where this is the weekly closed. It goes away from the area, and end of the weeks it's try to come back to the CP area. This is our another variation on Euro JPY. This is the retest and continue. This is the retest and continue to the upward. This is the whole continuation, retest and continuation. This is the area where it's try to come back or retest the CP before continue, but it's a whole continuation trade setup. It's a very good continuation market. This is our closing price of maybe on the Friday, and this is one of our another example that try to come back and continuation to the downward in one day. This is the whole move happen in a day, which is more than 130 pips. This is our another template. This is our another template. uh, Let me go. Euro AUD, Euro USD. Let me go on Euro USD. Just try to right now. Just try to understand how. Try to catch the weekly template. How it's actually moving. I will show you all of the topic I will be discussing this channel. Next topic maybe will be on daily template. How it actually looks like. Then the type of trade setup. Then the continuation trade or reversal trade setup. How you can catch the breakout. Everything will be discussed in this channel. This is I'll just draw a line on the Friday and see how what kind of weekly template is give us. Trading template, a weekly template. This is the weekly template. Move away, retest and move away. Retest the area, try to come back, and end of the weeks it's move away from the CP area. So that's how the weekly template is actually looks like. This weekly template forming in every weeks, and there are three type of weekly template you can see on your chart. There's nothing else. There are only three types of weekly template you can see on your chart. It's another example of retest and continue to the downward. So that's all about our weekly template. So I try to demonstrate the weekly template properly so that you can understand. On the next session maybe I will discuss more topic and how you can combine all of them, how can you utilize all of those topic. We will also discuss in future. So that's how the weekly template is actually working, and more details on giving on the PDF also. As I write the PDF with more details, you will see the more details on the closing price, why important, then the sum of example, weekly template, types of weekly template, and every types of weekly template plus example I give in the PDF. So just make a comment on the on this video, and after comment just ask me for the PDF on Telegram handle. In this handle you can get the PDF once I am in online. Okay, so that's all about our weekly template. Just give you the overall bigger picture of the market, how the price moved from Monday to Friday. That's all about our weekly template. Next day we will uh, try to introduce about the daily template, because we trade on the lower time frame, like on the daily 15-minute time frame or 5-minute time frame. So daily template is very important to understand. Same as weekly, daily template are same, but I will make a video mm, more deeply to more deeply so that you can understand it. So thank you for watching this video.